Sudanese army declares major victory, takes back presidential palace and Khartoum airport. In a significant breakthrough, the Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF, declared on Wednesday that they have fully liberated Khartoum, the nation's capital, from the control of the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, RSF. This marks a pivotal moment after nearly 2 years of intense and often brutal conflict. General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, the head of the Sudanese military and the country's de facto leader, confirmed that his forces have successfully recaptured critical locations, including the presidential palace and Khartoum's international airport, both of which had been under RSF control since fighting broke out in April 2023. Speaking at the presidential palace, General al-Burhan proudly declared, "Today, we stand in a liberated Khartoum, a symbol of Sudanese resilience and courage." His announcement was met with cheers and applause from soldiers and supporters gathered to celebrate. The army also released images and videos showing soldiers waving Sudanese flags, celebrating triumphantly in front of buildings scarred by months of combat. In a separate statement, SAF spokesman Brigadier General Nabil Abdallah highlighted this victory as historic and heroic. He emphasized that the army has not only regained control of major landmarks, including government ministries and buildings around the bustling Arab market, but also decisively weakened the RSF's presence in the capital. "Our forces today completed their successes in Khartoum, crushing the remnants of the terrorist militia," Abdallah said. Drone footage released by the SAF showed RSF fighters retreating across the Jebel Alia Dam to the west, underscoring a significant setback for the paramilitary group. Reports from the ground indicate the army's recent aggressive ground and aerial offensives effectively severed the RSF's supply lines, leaving their fighters isolated and vulnerable. However, the conflict is far from over, as just a day before the victory announcement, the RSF claimed to have seized a key army base in North Darfur, highlighting the ongoing challenges and tensions throughout Sudan. The war initially started over disputes regarding Sudan's transition to civilian governance, which quickly escalated into a devastating conflict, resulting in tens of thousands of casualties. The United Nations has described the crisis as the world's largest displacement emergency, forcing millions from their homes and leaving over half of the population struggling with severe food shortages and inadequate health care. Internationally, reactions have been cautiously optimistic, yet concerns persist about Sudan's long-term stability. The African Union and the UN Security Council issued statements emphasizing that sustainable peace will require inclusive governance and comprehensive reconciliation efforts. They warned against forming parallel governments, which could risk further dividing the nation. General al-Burhan reiterated his commitment to creating a transitional government that would unite Sudan's diverse political and social factions, urging continued international support and dialogue to ensure lasting peace. For residents of Khartoum, the recent developments have offered some hope. Mohammed Ibrahim, a 55-year-old local, described the liberation of the palace as the best news I've heard since the start of the war. We want to be safe again and live without fear or hunger. As Sudan embarks on its challenging journey toward recovery, humanitarian organizations are urging immediate international aid to address the urgent needs of civilians. While there's optimism following the army's recent successes, both national leaders and international partners acknowledge that significant efforts will be required to achieve a stable and peaceful Sudan.